Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. Welcoming you back to the live show. Check out the live video stream, thedrgliddenshow.tv. Phone lines are ringing off of the flippin' hook as they do here every day. Let's go back to California and talk to Junior. Hey, Junior, thanks for the call. You are live. Come in, Junior. California. Come on in, Junior. All right, we'll put Junior on hold and go to Ken in Nevada. Hey, Ken. Thanks for the phone call. You are live. Come on in, Ken.
Yes.
There you are. Hey, man. Thanks for waiting. How can I help?
I have a friend who has been diagnosed with hepatocarcinoma.
Yikes. Yeah, it's liver cancer, baby.
He's 78 years of age. 215 pounds.
Yeah.
And 5'10", and he's looking for a way to control this thing. Well,
good luck. I mean, you know, I'm looking for a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and you know, here's the deal, Ken. Okay. And this is I don't know why people in the country aren't outraged by this. I mean, even when it hits home, you know, my mother died from chemotherapy. My mother didn't die from ovarian cancer. She had ovarian cancer, but it was the chemotherapy that killed her. But my point is that when it comes to cancer, the MDs have nothing to give us except expensive, dangerous, cancer-causing treatments that have minimal effectiveness. We get so little bang for our buck when it comes to conventional cancer treatment. It's not even funny. And as I alluded to at the very beginning of today's program, the research that's done is out of step with the reality of the cancer situation, right? It's not the tumor that's the problem. It's the metabolic process that caused the tumor. The tumor isn't the disease. The tumor is the result of the disease, but the MDs think it's the disease. So all of their treatments are designed at eliminating the tumor, and that's why it always comes back. Because even when they're effective at eliminating the tumor, the metabolic process that caused the tumor to form in the first place is still present. And yet, what do? Well, we don't have anything else to do because it's illegal to do anything else for cancer. You can't treat cancer legally in the United States unless you're an MD. You can't. So all that we have is anecdotal evidence from a couple of doctors in a couple of clinics outside of the United States who've had limited experience with helping people with many different types of cancer, and we're all, you know, we're grasping at straws, honest to God. Now, here's what I do know. Selenium supplementation, 200 micrograms of selenium every day, which is a tiny amount, reduces the risk of breast cancer, or the occurrence of breast cancer, by 82%. It reduces the occurrence of lung cancer by 39%, even if you're a smoker, and it reduces the occurrence of colon cancer and prostate cancer by 64 and 69%. And that's just selenium, which is one of the 90 essential nutrients. So, from my point of view, as a licensed naturopathic physician with 25 years of clinical experience, it is 1,000 times easier to prevent cancer than it is to fix it. Now, if I were you, what I would do is I would let this situation with my friend be a warning for you and for everybody else in your life. You must start medical nutrition now if you haven't already, and I'm assuming by the tone of your voice that you've already done it, which is a good thing. So you want to make sure you're taking your supplements every day. You want to make sure, especially that you're doing selenium every day. You want to make sure that you're eliminating the 10 bad foods, and you want to make sure that if you want to really up the ante, get on board with 100,000 ORAC a day for yourself. Now, to support and promote healthy liver function, the recommendation is 1 anti-aging healthy start pack original formula, 1 anti-aging healthy start pack original formula per month, 4 bottles of ultimate selenium per month, 4 bottles of ultimate selenium per month, one canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, one canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 per month, 2 bottles of Immortalium per month, 2 bottles of Immortalium per month, and as much Z-Radical as a human being can afford. A bottle a day would be great. A bottle every other day, a bottle a week. No harm, no foul. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. And most importantly, this individual needs to get a copy of my book and ask their oncologist politely, with a recording device and a witness, the 10 questions in my chapter on cancer. Doctor, I know that I have, liver cancer, stage XYZ, Gleason score, whatever. Does the therapy that you're recommending cure my cancer? If it doesn't cure my cancer, what can I expect? What type of side effects can I expect? What are you going to do to treat the side effects? How can I expect this treatment to impact the quality of my life? How much are you going to profit from this treatment? How much is the hospital going to profit from this treatment? And I'd like to talk to 10 patients who have the same diagnosis, who have survived for more than 5 years, to see what their experience of your treatment has been, right? I mean, simple questions. I mean, we ask more cogent questions to automobile salesmen than we do to oncologists, for goodness sake. And this is a big problem. So, knowledge is power in this regard, and he has to know whether the stuff that the MDs want him to do is effective, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, we have to just move forward one day at a time. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
He hasn't started any treatment as of yet, and he's looking for the best option, and suggested that he speak with you, and so that's what we're doing, is basically getting a protocol to address the issue.
Well, so right. Remember, what we do here is we support and promote, in this case, the structure and function of the immune system. Stop eating food that's gumming up the works, and keep our fingers crossed. But I have to tell you, it's not a picnic when we're dealing with cancer. And the conventional medical treatment of cancer has completely failed us. And why there isn't more public outrage, I don't know. I mean, I ask myself this question at least 3 times a week.
Sure.
But I don't want to go there, Ken. I go there all the time. But I appreciate your trust. I appreciate your phone call. Keep me in the loop. Let me know what happens, and God bless you for trying. And this is it, folks. I mean, you got to be kidding me. 780,000 people a year die from conventional medical treatment. So let's do some math. 780,000. I've done this before. I'm doing it again. 780,000 divided by 365. That's 2,136 people a day. Let's say there's 250 people on a jetliner, 767, right? That's like 8 767s a day crashing. 8 767s a day crashing. Now, if 8 jet airliners a day crashed, you think there'd be public outrage? There would be. But when people go under their MD's care and they die, we give the MDs a pass because we've drunk the Kool-Aid long and deep. We drink it every day. Every time you turn on a TV at night to rest your weary mind from another 40 hours a week working for the man, working for the glass ceiling, working for the minimum wage, working for whatever ridiculous salary they've agreed to give you. Even if it's a good salary, there's a point beyond which you cannot get above, a point beyond which you cannot get above if you have a regular job. And so you try to relax at night, and what are you inundated with? Direct-to-consumer prescription medication ads. So we're brainwashed slowly, steadily, every day that the MD knows what's best for us. The MD has the secret decoder ring of all things medical, and the MD is a god. The MD is a medical god. MD stands for medical deity. I must genuflect at this altar every day. Oh, my God. Now I have to give my hard-earned money for medical insurance premiums, and if you live in Canada, you're screwed because they take it right out of your paycheck. They don't even give you the choice. And then they kill us, and then they bankrupt us, and then, They fail us, they harm us, and when it comes to cancer, they completely let us down. They have no eye towards prevention whatsoever, and we give them a pass, we give them a pass, we give them a pass, we give them a pass. How many people are going to have to die before we stop giving them a pass? I don't know. Let's go to Spencer in Alaska and talk about something lighter, tendinitis. I can handle that today, Spencer. Hey, Spencer, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. I hope I'll get better. What's up?
Well, first off, I am just ecstatic to talk to you because we have tried so many times and have finally broken free. So all my family in Alaska with a big hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray. Because I got a couple of questions.
First, I got time here, Spencer, and we can keep you on. We're coming up against a hard break anyway, but we'll keep you right on. What part of Alaska are you calling from?
Valdez, the end of the pipeline.
Oh, wow. So are you in, what was the name of that bay? Was it St. George's Bay?
It's Prince William Sound.
Prince William Sound, yeah. Is that where you are?
Yeah, I was actually 2 years old on the beach of Elamar and watched that thing pretty much go right over to Bly Reef in 1989.
Wow, son of a gun. And how is it now?
It's they're still picking up oil samples here on the beach here and there, but they definitely got a whole different program going. And so yeah, it's definitely lots of infrastructure to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I've heard that's one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Am I correct?
Yeah, when you come up here and hang out at our place, you'll get to see it yourself.
All right, buddy. Stick around. We're going to pick you up on the other side of the break. I'm glad we finally get to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. More to come. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. You're missing the chat. A lot of good chat going on in the live video stream. 65 people from all around the world. Just spoke to someone from Ireland. You got to love this. Got to love the internet. This is, in fact, how we're going to change the world. Let's go back to Prince William Sound, is it? And talk to Spencer. Hey, Spencer, thanks for the call. You're back.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, excited again to be on the call. I just wanted to shoot out a praise report. My mom, who wasn't even really taking the right protocol, just sort of kind of taking liquid OsteoFX, tangy tangerine, and liquefying the EFA pills because it was too big. She had has severe rheumatoid arthritis, and she told me one day that she has been off of 8 of her medications. And I asked her, well, did you start taking that stuff I gave you? And she went back, she's like, I did start taking those items.
Don't you love that? I mean, yeah, man, that's crazy, isn't it? Even when people aren't expecting it to work, it works, which, speaks against the placebo effect. We know this isn't the placebo effect because, we can do it with animals, and there are specific metabolic things that happen when you mineralize the body, but that's awesome, man. I got to tell you something, especially in the elderly people, arthritic stuff doesn't get better, it gets worse. And it can get really, really bad. You can't sleep through the night. It's just, there's no more quality to life. It's like, man, put me on the ice floe now and just kill me because this is bad. There's no way to live, man. So,
if you had the story behind, just God's grace keeping her alive. For years, it turned really bad into a pyoderma gangriosis, and it just became this massive bad flesh-eating thing. One day, it got so bad, I thought I was in a war scene. But the only thing that the medical place was doing was they were just sending more painkillers and bandages. We'd go up and they'd send us more painkillers and bandages, and I was like, what is the deal?
I know, it's crazy.
Finally was at the point where the person was going to die from this thing in their legs. They had to accept and did some skin grafts and whatnot. But it wasn't until years later that we came across Longevity and then started watching your webinars. And am more than happy to be a member, and I'd recommend everyone do it right now.
Well, that's awesome, Spencer. Let me tell you a story since you're in Alaska, and don't worry, man, we've got lots of time here, okay? So I'm going to tell you a story. There's a guy in Longevity. I had him on years ago when we first started the radio program. He might have been one of my first guests. I can't remember, but it's time we had him back. to tell his story. Again, his name was Roger Roberts, and he was living in Alaska, somewhere out in the bush. The Iditarod dog trail went through his backyard. I mean, he was out there, man. And he was a gold prospector and, a backwoodsman. Had a little cabin on a river, and he had really, really, really bad arthritis. Like really bad, really, really, really bad. Nothing worked, nothing helped, and he was kind of, a real unique individual, like a lot of people who, go out into the wilderness and, it's a different breed of human. And he just said to himself, look, man, I've done everything with conventional medicine. Nothing's getting better. I can't handle this anymore. So he started to build himself a Viking funeral barge. A Viking funeral barge down on the river. The intention being that when the spring thaw came, he was going to get on the barge, float out to sea, and just die. Right, with some type of, backwoodsman, Viking-like dignity, right? So, no kidding. So, meanwhile, there's a guy flying in, one of those bush planes that does deliveries, mail deliveries and grocery deliveries to, these villages in the middle of nowhere. And this guy would fly along the river that Roger's house was on, or his little cabin was on, and every day he'd see he was building something by the river, and it'd get a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger. And so finally, out of curiosity, he landed the plane. Right on the river, cruised on up to the dock by Roger's house, got out and said, what are you building here? I'm flying over this thing every day for the last 6 months. Yeah, you got to tell me, what is it? And Roger told him his story. He said, I'm going to float out to sea because I can't handle this arthritis. I'm done. As fate would have it, the bush pilot had a copy of Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD, or back in that day it was a cassette. He lent the cassette to Roger in the middle of the freaking Alaskan wilderness. Roger listened to the cassette, drove his dog team into town, called Longevity, ordered 6 months of the product. Long story short, no more arthritis, no more Viking funeral pyre, and Roger is a steadfast Longevity distributor to this day, and that's how the network works, man, and that's an awesome story. You stick around, I'll dial this in for you when we come back. Getting it done this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Getting it done this afternoon. I want to complete a thought that I had with a person in the chat room just before we came back live here. Here's what Rachel says. My daughter just turned 6, weighs 60 pounds, was tested for autism about a month ago. The doctor said she didn't have autism, even though she seems like she has autism. Now the doctors want to do all of this testing. What should I do? Well, my advice, don't get pregnant again until you've eliminated the 10 bad foods and been on a good, solid medical nutrition program for 6 months. If this is an autistic condition, it's your obstetrician's fault, because from our point of view, all birth defects, including anywhere on the autism spectrum, is due to insufficient maternal nutrition, period. I'm a doctor. I know this. Why doesn't your obstetrician? Because your obstetrician doesn't give a crap. Yeah, trying to even get an obstetrician to think about medical nutrition is like trying to get a communist to think about voters' rights. It ain't gonna happen. Fire your flipping MD immediately. Your child needs central nervous system support, don't you think? Wouldn't that be a smart idea to give medical nutrition to support and promote a healthy central nervous system? I think it would be. So in order to do that, the recommendation is 1 healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Eliminate the 10 bad foods and have your child consume a diet high in cholesterol. Let's go back to Alaska and see what Spencer has for questions. Hey, Spencer. Thanks for sticking around. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. The questions that I have a few, and the first is I've been shooting out the ALS webinar for a guy who's got some pretty bad ALS, and I just want to know your success rate with patients on that one so I can give them a positive update.
I don't have any. We don't keep statistics like that because, remember, right, we don't treat disease and we don't track things like this. People call us up anecdotally over the years, over the months, and say, hey, I used to have ALS. I don't have it anymore. My MS is gone, or, I'm 80% better, or this, that, or the other thing. But so I can't give him numbers. If I did, I'd be lying. Number one, we don't have the infrastructure to do that. Number two, that's a costly thing, and I'm not dodging the question here. I'm just trying to help people understand what we're doing here, because from the proper perspective, everything makes sense. I'm a one-man band here, right? I have some office help. I have some tech support. I have some downline support. I have some upline support. But really, we are not a medical clinic. We are not a research facility, and we don't have the means to track data like this. We just don't do it. We can't do it. And remember, what do we do? Do we treat disease? No. What do? We offer foundation medical nutrition for the masses. Foundation medical nutrition for the masses. I'm good to go with that. Now, if some organization wants to give $10 million a year, great. I'll set up a whole research institute and I'll fund this till the cows come home, and I will dial in the data deliberately. But the way that we're set up to do it, we can't. We just don't do it. But here's what we do know, and here's the only thing really that is necessary to know, Spencer. Tell the person you have no earthly idea what the numbers are as far as it goes, but tell him that from our point of view, this is what causes the illness. We have no proof of this. This is just our perspective based on our understanding and our clinical experience and the research that we've done. Number two, everybody needs medical nutrition. Number three, the degree that everybody's body is going to be able to bounce back is an unknown variable. Some people can bounce back 100%. Some people can bounce back 10%. I don't know. But I do know that his body needs medical nutrition, and I do know that he will feel better when he gets on board with medical nutrition. Now, will it be enough? Will it be sufficient to the cause to rise to the neurological stress on his body? I have no idea. But he'll have an idea. This is a really good investment of his. This is a really good investment of time and money. My advice to him, just get on board with the program for 6 months with neurological stuff, and see if you experience any positive change.
Awesome. Definitely going forward in that one. Thank you. The second question is, I have a friend with de Quervain's tendinitis syndrome.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's been out for about 5 months. He's an avid rock climber, so it's kind of it's pretty ironic. It's like the one thing that you wouldn't want to go wrong. And so I wanted to see your thoughts and any recommendations for that.
Well, it's actually not. It is ironic, but it's reasonable because, right, when you look at the mechanics of what rock climbers do, they put tremendous amount of stress on their Achilles tendons, on their ligaments and tendons. They're hanging from one arm from the rock. They've got a foot up over their head. They're lifting their body up just by the strength of the Achilles tendon all by itself and the calf muscle. So if I had 10 people all lined up and I was trying to guess which one of the people their tendon was going to become affected first, it would be the rock climber, because their lifestyle puts more stress on ligaments, tendons, and joints than anybody else's does, more or less. So, and by the way, this is another interesting thing to talk about, and this is one of my pet peeves, right? Remember, medical doctors love to name things, but they have no idea what causes it, and they have no idea what to do for it. So the medical doctor will, put their name down in the history books. So it's, Dupuytren's contracture, or, von Willebrand's disease, or Hashimoto's thyroiditis. But they're clueless as to what causes it, and they're clueless about how to cure it. But they don't care about that as long as their name is immortalized. So it really should make you feel quite a bit different than most people do feel about the intellectual integrity of their MD. So what do we do here? It doesn't matter what the name of the illness is. And remember, we're not treating disease. We're not treating diagnostic names. We're supporting and promoting healthy ligaments, tendons, and joints in this case. And you know how to do that. That's easier than falling off a potato truck. By the way, just check out the last webinar that I did last Thursday, because it walks everybody right through it. I did a bone and joint health redo last Thursday night. Basically, the recommendation is the Healthy Start Pack 2.0 in the liquid form. selenium, liquid glucogel, appropriate for body weight. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. And it's never a bad idea with trauma to, a particular tissue to overdo it. And in this case, we would overdo it, for a couple of months, maybe not even, maybe just 1 month. Overdo it with glucogel and overdo it with calcium. There's no harm and no foul there. But this person should not even look at soda pop for the rest of their life. If they want to continue rock climbing, they need to not have anything that has phosphoric acid in it. Zero tolerance for the 10 bad foods and phosphoric acid, because phosphoric acid will slowly whittle away at the strength of the ligaments, tendons, and joints, and it's only a matter of time till it pops again. But medical nutrition is going to go a long way, and you're going to be this person's new best friend. No kidding.
Man, that is so awesome. Thank you. And I cannot express how thrilled I am to be talking to you right now.
Well, man, look, I appreciate it. And honest to God, if I seem tall to you or anybody else, it's because I'm standing on Dr. Wallach's shoulders. I'm just a normal human being. I have a skill set, and my skill set is to be able to explain to people what seems to be relatively complicated metabolic phenomena in easy-to-understand terms, because we've been duped. That by the 100 years of, MD proselytizing, that they're the owners of the domain of medicine and they speak to us in these highfalutin terms, it's nonsense. But honest to God, the combination of my clinical experience plus my relationship with Dr. Wallach is what makes my information all the more valuable. So again, really the kudos here belong to Dr. Joel Wallach, because I got to tell you, Spencer, he is the man. No kidding.
Hey, I praise God 100%. God's got you both here to do a powerful work. And to continue on, I know that you both are, and your team is in prayer. And, I got tons of other questions. I want to post something in your live webinar. I'm watching the Dr. Glidden Show on TV right now. There's something that's really amazing. When you combine physical and spiritual healing, phenomenal results occur. It is amazing. The power of just reconnecting and get your relationship right with God, having forgiveness in your life, and things really happen. And so there's this amazing ABCs of Bible prayer. It's taking the promises of His Word and watching them be fulfilled. I'm going to post it in your chat. It's a free link off of our friend's blog, and I hope to see that help you as much as you are helping us.
Spencer, I appreciate all the help I can get all the time. You're the man. Keep up the good work there. And Prince William Sound?
Prince William Sound in Valdez, Alaska.
Gotta love it, brother. Make a difference. That's how we do it, folks. Network, grassroots network of the informed. And by the way, Spencer is apparently, a religious person of, the Christian faith. But human suffering knows no borders, knows no boundaries, knows no creed or colors. It doesn't matter if you're a Hindu. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian. It doesn't matter if you're a Mormon. It doesn't matter if you're a Buddhist. It doesn't matter if you're an atheist. Human suffering sucks. And there are simple steps that people can take with foundation medical nutrition that will change your life. You wouldn't go outside in a snowstorm in a bathing suit, would you? No. You wouldn't drink contaminated water, would you? No. You wouldn't pee upstream and drink downstream, would you? No. Well, guess what? You give your body medical nutrition, it's going to respond, regardless of your faith, creed, or color. And, when you can, on top of that, dial in a personal relationship with God, really? Is there anything that can stop you? I don't think so. Let's go to Bama. Talk to William. Hey, William from Alabama. Thanks for the call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden.
What's happening, man?
man, oh, man, what's happening? I can't cover everything that's happening, but hey, I like that story. I like that story about Roger in Alaska.
Wasn't that something? I know, man.
Hey, I wonder about one thing, though. If he's got arthritis that bad, how in the world does he build a raft to float around on?
Well, 1 hour at a time, like a couple hours in the morning, then he'd take a long break, and then a couple hours in the afternoon. I mean, he's one of these guys. Mountain men aren't just going to, kick back on their porch and not do anything. You take Advil, you take the pain meds, and you bear your way through it, right?
Yeah, that's where I built my dog a house.
Well, there you go. Yeah, same thing.
Hey, look, I've got a friend who I guess it was last January, he was playing basketball, and he ripped something they call an Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
In his foot, completely in two.
Yeah.
Well, doctor cut it open and dug around in there, and he took the two ends and tied them back together.
Yeah, that's good.
And so, he told him, he says, look, you're going to have to stay off your feet about 6 to 8 weeks. Well, he's still off his feet. He tried to go back to work last week and made it a half a day driving a truck, and foot swelled up so bad he had to take his shoe off, and his boss sent him home, so he's back at home again. And the doctor looked at it, and he said, well, it may take another year for it to heal up.
Well, look, I'll tell you a story. The same exact thing happened to my nephew. He was a landscaper when this happened to him, and, he just overworked himself, and it was a hot summer day and just did too much and ripped his Achilles heel completely off. His Achilles tendon completely off. The calf muscle rolled up into his knee. The doctor had to reattach it, which is, what they're good for. Surgery will save your life when it's appropriate. He told him it would take, 8 weeks. He was back to work in 3 weeks. Why? Because he did the medical nutrition program that I'm going to recommend you do. Stick around, William. I'll be right back. That's right. We're back, Jack. I mean, for goodness sake, you give a plant fertilizer, right? If you give a plant fertilizer, what's going to happen? Is it going to get bigger or is it going to get smaller? It's going to get bigger. Well, if you give your body fertilizer, so to speak, what do you think is going to happen? Your bones and your joints and your ligaments and your tendons and your heart and your spleen and your kidneys and every freaking thing is going to get stronger, and it's going to optimize its structure and performance the way that nature intended it to. Let's see if Bill is still here. William from Bama, you still with me?
Yeah, Alabama Bill, I'm here.
Alabama Bill. All right.
I don't know where that name William came from. I never mentioned that.
Well, that came from my Yankee brain. That's where that came from.
Was that it?
Hey, I got to tell you something. I was in late 70s. I had the great pleasure of living in Durham, North Carolina for almost a year. It was the first time I'd ever been below the Mason-Dixon line. I was visiting a buddy of mine who was going to Duke University. That was my first experience with Southern culture, and I've been hooked ever since, man.
Man, great place to live if you can dodge the law.
No, I think you can say that about all of the 50 United States. So here's what we do to support and promote healthy bones, ligaments, and tendons. It's really pretty easy. My current recommendation, based on, Youngevity gets new stuff all the time, right? So here's what I would recommend. Now, it is, how much does this guy weigh? Do you have any idea?
I'd say he's about 180, if that much. He probably maybe around 170.
Okay, great. So we're going to do 2 Healthy Body Start Packs 2.0 in the liquid form, and that's a long, ponderous name. It's called the Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid.
Yeah. What's the difference between, now I've been taking your Beyond Tangerine for 5 years, and now I hear you talk about the Beyond Tangerine 2.0. What's this 2.0 all about? I haven't understood that yet.
It's different. I mean, it's better. It's got more stuff in it. It's a better taste, and it, it's kind of like, every couple of years, Ford or Dodge or Ram, it rolls out a new truck with a new engine, new suspension, right, new computer. I mean, it's better. It's just a better truck. It does things better. Well, that's the same way. We progress scientifically and with clinical experience. So the 2.0 is like the next generation of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It's got more bang for your buck in each individual dose,
Okay.
and it also tastes better. So, my advice is give it a roll. But
New and improved.
yeah, it's new and improved, the proof of the pudding's in the eating, man. But you need to be on more than just the Beyond Tangy. You're doing the whole healthy pack, right?
I'm doing just the Beyond Tangerine. I would do the whole thing, but I'm a little tight for money.
Okay, so great.
5 years, so.
Well, no, I get it. All right, so don't.
Do.
Well, I get it. That's the way that it is for some people. And however, Bill, there's a number of people in longevity who started with less than nothing, and now they're some of the top money earners in the company. So there is a way that you can spread the word of longevity effectively and efficiently, regardless of your situation in life, and make $100 a month, $200, $300, $400, $500 a month, whatever you want, depending on your, kind of willpower and staying power. So my advice to you, get with the person who enrolled you into longevity. Call longevity up. Find out who is in your upline. Call them up and say, hey, I'm Bill from Bama, and I want you to show me how to be an effective business builder, and because there are people in your upline looking for you, no kidding.
Hey, I've already done that on behalf of my sister. I talked with Shannon down in Southern California.
Is she helping?
Pardon me?
Is she helping you?
Yeah, I mean, she is. My sister hasn't signed up yet, but yeah, I do have all the information. I know the score, and I would do it if I could. I live up in the middle of the national forest. I don't have any neighbors within miles, and nearest town's way off, and it's be hard for me to peddle it unless I signed up with Amazon or something, and there's a little bit of competition on there, you know what I mean?
I understand that. All right, well, maybe there's something we can do. I'll keep your name in mind. But look, here's what we do. It's one, because I'm out of time, it's one Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 in the liquid form, 2 liquid Glucogel Plus, and 2 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 2 selenium, 2 liquid Glucogel Plus, and 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Plus, eliminate the 10 bad foods. His ligaments and tendons will be beautiful before you know it. Appreciate you, Bill. Now, go out there and help more people. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of time. Live long and prosper. See you around campus.